Joining me now from Capitol Hill, Congressman Andre Carson, a Democrat from Indiana and a member of the House Intelligence Committee. So, Congressman, you just heard it right there. The president is talking about how he believes Susan Rice committed a crime. Is there any plans for you guys to call Susan Rice in front of the House for your intelligence investigation?
Well, let me say that Susan Rice is not only brilliant, she is a woman of deep integrity. She's above reproach in my mind. I don't think she'd have a problem with appearing before the committee. I think that she's someone who is very steeped in national security matters and deep policy matters. And I think that this is another attempt to blame the Obama administration for anything that goes wrong around Trump or his campaign.
If she does testify, say she did, and she reveals information about General Mike Flynn, who was the national security advisor, speaking to Russians, is that the sort of information that this president or this administration wants to get out, or do they believe that her name alone and the attacks on her name alone and everything that has happened with her regarding Benghazi is enough to shield them from anything she might say?
I think her credibility is solid. Unlike President Trump's and this administration, look, they are trying to deflect in any way that they can from the very real issues, and that is members of his campaign and administration have had inappropriate contact with the Russians. And so in a very real sense, he can't tweet his way out of this matter. He can't make additional provocative statements to divert the American people from the real issues at hand, and that is his closeness with Russia, his praising of Vladimir Putin, who has made attempts throughout the years to suppress the media or the press, has made attempts, solid attempts, to dismantle any attempts at democracy in his country. So the greater question becomes, why is he so cozy with Vladimir Putin? And he doesn't want to answer that.
Well, talk to me about what you heard him say at the Rose Garden today, that his position towards Assad and his opinion of Assad is changing. Does that implicitly mean to you that his opinion of Vladimir Putin is changing as well? Because you can't change one opinion without changing the other, and in Syria alone.
Well, I don't think wholly. I think it is clear, and the international community is with us on this, is that Assad is in fact a war criminal, and he has committed war crimes. Now we have to look at how we're going to deal with this issue. I think that President Trump wants to increase our footprint there militarily. I think we have to be very careful as to how we deal with those issues, but I think something has to be done. But we'll need the help from our international partners to get this thing done the right way.
What do you think should be done, Congressman?
Well, I think in a very real sense, the responsibility does not or should not rest on America's shoulders. However, I think that we should have a presence there. But, for example, if we initiated airstrikes or any kind of attempts to attack them, then, of course, because Russia is so closely tied to Syria, we risk sparking a very dangerous conflict against the Russian government, given that the tension between America and the U.S., with the U.S. and Russia, is so intense at this time, and the relationship is very frayed because of actions that have happened for the past several decades. And so I think we have to be very careful, because Assad and the Russian government and Vladimir Putin are very closely tied.
And what you're seeing on your screen there are images of, well, a moment ago at least, of children who were affected by that sarin gas that officials, at least in this country, believe was dropped by the Assad regime. Indiana Congressman Andre Carson, member of the House Intel Committee, thank you very much. Next, much more on the